Let's subtract 3.35 from the difference of 8 and 7/8. This tells us that we will first subtract 8 minus 7/8, come up with an answer, and from that subtract 3.35 for our final answer. For us to first subtract 8 minus 7/8, let's convert 7/8 to a decimal. So to convert 7/8 to a decimal, that will tell us that we should divide the denominator into the numerator. Using long division, 8 divides into 7. For us to do this problem, we'll first list an imaginary decimal point and include as many zeros into the problem as we need to do this long division. So 8 does not divide into 7, so we'll list a 0, but 8 does go into 70 8 times. That becomes 64. Subtracting this, we see from subtracting 70 minus 64 that we need to borrow. So 4 from 0 we can't do, but we'll borrow 1 unit from 7 to make that 6, and make our 0 here 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 6 minus 6 is nothing. So we now have a number 6. Let's bring down another 0 and continue on. 8 goes into 60 at total times 7 times. So 7 times 8 is 56. Let's scroll this down a little. So when we subtract again, 60 minus 56 becomes 4 units. And finally we'll bring down another 0. Divide 8 into 40 becomes 5 times. 5 times 8 becomes 40. And since we have a remainder of 0, that tells us to stop this long division. Therefore 7/8 becomes the decimal 0.875. So 7/8 here will be actually the decimal 0.875. We are now ready to continue on in our problem. Subtracting 3.35 from the difference of 8 and 0.875 now, we'll first subtract 8 minus 0.875, come up with an answer, and then we'll subtract 3.35 from that. So 8 minus, in fact we'll write it right here, 8 minus 0.875 is what we're about to do. And we see that we cannot subtract these decimals from nothing. So first we'll list 8 point and include as many zeros as we need in the problem. And we try subtracting 5 or 7 from 8 from nothing. Of course we can't. So we need to borrow from the 8. By borrowing from the 8, we'll make this a 7. We'll make this 0 a 10. So 10. Now we can borrow from the 10 for the next column, make this 9, and make this 0 a 10. But now we can borrow from this 10 for our remaining column. So borrowing makes this a 9, makes this 10. Now 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 7 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. We'll bring down the decimal point, and 7 minus nothing is 7. Our remaining answer so far is 7.125. For the final part of our answer, we wish to subtract 3.35 from this answer. So 7.125 minus 3.35. Subtracting vertically, we see that we can subtract 5 minus nothing is 5. But again, we cannot subtract 5 from 2 or 3 from 1. So we need to borrow from the 7. The 7 will become a 6. And borrowing a whole unit will make 1 into 11. Now we can borrow from this column for our next column. So this 11 will become 10. And our next column will become from 2 to 12. 12 minus 5 becomes 7. 10 minus 3 is 7. We'll carry down our decimal point, and 6 minus 3 becomes 3. Our final answer is 3.775. So when we subtract 3.35 from the difference of 8 and 7/8, our answer becomes 3.775.